The reason that I ran for president briefly was not to dislodge 47. I assumed he was going to be the nominee and said so. And when I was running, you never heard me say one negative thing about him. In fact, I praised him and assumed he was going to win. And I felt, though, that even he was not talking about the number one domestic problem in America, which is the epidemic of fatherlessness, the breakdown of the nuclear family. Many of our problems, we talk about bad schools, dropouts, people that are underprepared for work, crime. The genesis is often a broken home, often a father who isn't there. When I was campaigning in Iowa, I was speaking to the chief of police of a town called Johnson City. And I said, you guys have a gang problem here? And he said, we do, not like Chicago, but there is a gang problem. And I said, what's the common theme? What's the foundation of it? He said, these kids do not have a father figure in their life, whether a father or a grandfather or a coach or a pastor, somebody. And that town is roughly 95% or so white. So this problem is a problem irrespective of your race, although there are far more kids, black kids, entering the world without a father in the home, married to the mother, compared to white kids. And I was looking at the so-called manifesto written by the shooter at that Christian school, where she opened fire with a 9mm handgun. Now they're saying they found a second gun as well. Isn't it amazing how the news right away is frequently wrong? Often the media referred to the shooter as a gunman, assuming that since most shooters, most murderers are male, that this would be a male, it's not a female. And the number of casualties was apparently misstated. A teacher has been killed, a student has been killed, and there are others still critical. 2 victims were released, and 2 remain in critical condition. So initially, the shooter was reported as a male because the assumption was that the shooter would be a male. And apparently now there's a second firearm that's been found. Anyway, she opened fire with a 9mm handgun in the study hall before turning the gun on herself. And she left a manifesto, and her boyfriend has confirmed that it was in fact her manifesto. And it talked about her turbulent home life, isolation, that she began to embrace neo-Nazi views. She began to idolize school shooters. She's 15 years old. And a link on her social media accounts linked the document purporting to be her manifesto. As I said, a reporter, after speaking with her boyfriend, verified the authenticity of a 6-page manifesto entitled War Against Humanity. In it, she talks about her admiration for the Columbine high school shooters, as well as a racial collectivist terrorist named Patrick Crusius, and a Brazilian school shooter. And in her manifesto, she writes this. Again, assuming this is her manifesto, it's been confirmed by one outlet. I haven't heard it confirmed by others. So let's remain some degree of skeptical about this, but apparently this is her manifesto. Humanity is filth. My parents are scum. Document says that her parents are divorced. I've grown to hate society and people. All of you and the world have done is pick on me and tease me. She talked about getting teased and pushed around. I always get picked on. She said, quote, my so-called family never included me because I was too weird for them. My father would always make me stand out in the worst possible way. I hate humanity for forcing me into this little hole, end of quote. And, you don't know whether or not what she's saying about her parents is true or false, but she said, and I'm quoting, my parents admit they didn't want me. I'm always the one who sat out or sat in another room because they didn't want to interact with me at any point in time. Then I stayed in my room all day long and all night long and after and before school as well. I planned on shooting myself a while ago, but I thought maybe it's better for evolution, whatever that means. And then she talked about a lot of racially tinged things. The human scum is color. and how people are raised. She used a racial epithet for black people. The revolution should be well. I am part of the real thought and the real revolution. We need revolution. The wolf hunts its prey. There's nothing more than filth. End quote. Now, the police are aware of this so-called manifesto, but they have not officially said that she wrote it. Her name is Natalie Rumpnow, R-U-P-N-O-W, but she says she wants to be called Samantha. Now, you can have two wonderful parents and still raise a child who is damaged emotionally, damaged in terms of our social skills. So I'm not suggesting that just because you are raised by a single parent, this is going to happen. But it is certainly true that if you're raised without a father, you're far more likely to be poor, to commit crime, to drop out, and to end up in jail. Now, and I want to emphasize again, as we've been talking about since the school shooting took place, it is rare for there to be a school shooting, let alone one that results in death. Kids are safer in school than they are not in school. Thanks for watching these clips from The Larry Elder Show. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. More thought-provoking discussions are just a click away, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.